ebele bakufa na mokili kaka pona bolingo yango mana pona bolingo na matosala sena yo ata bapasi toko vivre bisengo toko mona
Saturday mornings have never sounded so good with radio's hottest couple, Adora and Ashawn, on your inspiration station.
99 FM.
In the news tonight, City of Windhoek secures $155 million Namibian loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Isar Sipunga. Welcome to News on 1. In the headlines, pregnant woman opens brutality case against police. Transport industry should be prepared to accommodate persons with disabilities. Walfish Bay to register backyard tenants in need of land. Agribank warns livestock farmers of looming drought. And Business on 1, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. Leading the bulletin, a 27-year-old pregnant woman who was manhandled by Namibian Police Special Reserve Force members on Tuesday has opened a case of assault with intent to do grievous bodily harm following the incident this week. Hilia Yambo, who is 4 months pregnant, claims she was not part of the demonstration but was rather caught in the middle of the police and protesters. The Legal Assistance Center described the police act as unreasonable.
Are you beating a person? A harmless person?
Yambo was allegedly attacked by the Namibian Police Special Reserve Force on Tuesday around 9 o'clock in Marula, Katutura. Yambo, who is 4 months pregnant, explained that she was not part of the protest against unemployment but was on her way to drop off the baby clothes at her in-laws. She further stated that she became tired and sat down under a tree to rest. It was during this time that the police allegedly approached her and started beating her.
She started kicking me, and then she beat me on this side of the, and then in the tummy because I was sitting. I told her, why are you kicking me? I'm even pregnant. Then she didn't even listen. When I wanted now to stand up, that the other 3 men came. Then they started kicking me and beat me with a shampoo. So now, after that, I think there was the only person that I can now recall is Delish. They were behind. There were few of the people that I'm saying they were left behind. When she came, she saw me, then one of them took the video. They only took the video, I think, from where? Because they kicked me from the other shade to the other one. Like I was still down. And then when they went, I was still there. And then Delish and this man came. When they came, they was like, what's happening? I was like, no, these people were kicking me. I didn't do anything. They found me sitting, for that matter. Like for me, I was waiting for my time, like for them to pass, so I go get my cab to go back home. I was not even part of the protest.
Coordinator of the Land, Environment and Development Project at the Legal Assistance Center, Corina van Wyk, maintained that there was no need for the Namibian police to use unreasonable force to show their authority as the demonstrators were calling off the protest. Van Wyk's remarks follow a video of Yambo crying after being beaten by the Namibian police.
In that regard, any person that suffered any injury because of unreasonable force or unnecessary force that was used by the police has got the normal remedy or the normal recourse available to them and can claim damages if they suffered any.
Namibian spokesperson, Deputy Commissioner Kauna Shikwambi, told News on One that Iyambo's case will be forwarded to the Internal Investigation Department.
Yes, indeed, the case was opened at Katutura Police Station, case register 479 of this month, 2023. The case will be forwarded to the Internal Investigation Department, who will then investigate the allegation as laid down by the complainant. So, in a nutshell, that's all.
Swipe on it and win! Come bank with us and stand a chance to win the grand prize of an eco-friendly hybrid vehicle or one of 40 fuel vouchers worth $40,000 Namibian.
Full tank, asseblief.
To enter, simply make any purchase using your Bank Vintage Visa debit or credit card between the 1st of October 2022 and the 31st of March 2023. With your Bank Vintage Visa card in hand, let's journey together with every swipe. Visit bankvintage.com.na for more information. Protect yourself against fraud and never share your PIN. T's and C's apply. Bank Vintage, a member of Capricorn Group.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
The Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs, Alexia Manombe-Ngube, has called on stakeholders in the transportation industry to be ready and prepared at all times to accommodate persons with disabilities. Manombe-Ngube's plea comes after a 29-year-old woman was recently denied boarding on Fly Namibia due to her physical disability.
Manombe-Ngube said that Article 9 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Namibia is signatory to, maintains that appropriate measures should be taken to ensure the identification, elimination of obstacles and barriers to accessibility to buildings, roads, transportation, indoor and outdoor facilities, including schools, housing, medical facilities, and workplaces.
There should be a clear separation between persons with disabilities and sick people. We don't need doctors to approve our travels. We are not sick. The paradigm shift is that disability is not a health issue, and it must be seen in that light. If a person with disability has a medical condition, that is a different issue, and it should be treated as such. But if it's a person with disability moving freely in a free country, such as Namibia, they should also be treated as such. Hope and trust all service providers in terms of transport, whether by road, rail or air, have taken note of the needs of persons with disabilities and will make all necessary arrangements to make their means of transport as accessible as possible to accommodate all clients.
The Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs plea comes after 29-year-old Elizabeth Angonji was denied boarding on Fly Namibia due to her physical disability. Fly Namibia has since issued an apology to Angonji that the denial was as a result of non-compliance with Fly Namibia's conditions of carriage. Angonji told News on One that the incident made her feel excluded as a human being. However, Angonji stated that she is pleased with the apology and it demonstrates that those with disabilities should feel free in the transportation sector.
I was feel bad, totally bad, because I was feel like I'm not a person like I'm not like other person. So I'm just feel like I'm left me. So for now, it's make me happy Minister of Disability also speak that we must feel free.
Fly Namibia Managing Director Andre Kompion said there is a lack of understanding between all parties in the aviation sector involved in the handling of persons with disabilities on their specific needs and requirements. Kompion adds that more needs to be done to sensitize and educate those in the transportation industry.
In the light of the above, Fly Namibia has committed to arrange a stakeholder conference whereby all role players in the airline industry in Namibia will be involved, including the Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs and all interested parties. That will include the Namibian Airports Company, the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority, the police, everybody involved in dealing with passengers at airports in our industry. The incident in which Ms. Ngorji was involved clearly illustrates the need to educate all role players on the specific needs of persons with disabilities.
Walfish Bay Mayor Trevino Forbes and the Municipal Council held a meeting with backyard tenants over land allocation this week. The municipality informed the tenants that the registration will start in April.
The 2-week registration process is aimed at determining the number of backyard tenants who are in need of land when officials visit homes in the Kwiezemond and Neravel areas. The first 50 residents will soon be relocated to Farm 37 outside Walvis Bay. When asked why only a certain number of people were chosen, Forbes explained that the central government had already issued occupation certificates to this group in 2020, along with 50 residents of the Otwea informal settlement. Thus, this group would be used as a model to determine how to proceed with the relocation of the next groups.
The question about why the 50. So this 50 is giving us the model of how things were done according to the ward system. So the 50 people that were allocated occupation certificates, these were done before our time. When we came into council, we came to found Otoya, and we came to find the Farm 37 occupation certificates given by government. So these people will be the first people to occupy Farm 37. We take 50 for now. Because we want to see when we take our 50 people to Farm 37, what do we still need?
Forbes stressed the importance of approaching any relocation project with caution, as moving a larger number of people to Farm 37 will result in overcrowding.
Any project needs to be approached with caution. That area has been there for a long time now. This council has decided enough is enough, people must go. If you take 1,000 people now, you will find yourself in big problems. It will be uncontrollable. But when you take a small amount of people, for the first step, you can control the needs of the people. And you can determine what they want and what they need and what the council must still provide.
In addition, Forbes promised to engage with the residents on a regular basis.
You came to me like
This Easter at Spa, we have everything you need to put smiles on the faces of everyone around your Easter table. Get Spa pre-packed cheese for only $84.99 and 2-liter liquid fruit for just $39.99. This Easter, start something special at Spa.
The Agricultural Bank of Namibia warned that livestock farmers should brace themselves for a tough financial year because the landscape is already showing signs of drought. The good rainfall recorded during the first months of the current rainy season declined, which means farmers should expect less grazing for livestock and spend more money to buy animal feed and maintain livestock.
Drought is no longer a possibility, it is already upon us. These were the words of Henk Saisai, the technical advisor for crops and poultry at Agribank, who explained that livestock farmers usually start to sell their productive animals at a lower cost because the drought makes it expensive to keep livestock. Saisai said the Kunene, Omaheke, Omusati, Oshana, Ohangwena, and Oshikoto regions are already showing signs of drought because of the uneven distribution of rainfall during the rainy season.
Now, if you look at it from a grazing point of view, the rainfall was below average. It came late. It only started raining somewhere in December, where usually we get accustomed to receiving rainfall in October. Hence, the grass didn't grow to full maturity, and most areas where it was below average, the little grass that was able to grow ended up being scorched by the extended dry spells where the hot sun was denaturing and burning the grasses. So livestock farmers, mostly Maheke region, Ochodonjupa, and some parts of Oshikoto and Kunene, they are really in trouble because if you look at the forecast and what we were expecting to receive, it shows that below average rainfall has consequences that are severe, and then we are looking at the possibility of having another drought here like 2019. So when we have this drought here, farmers will find problems in the sense that keeping your animals alive becomes expensive, and hence you want to destock, in other words, reduce the number of cattle that you have, just to have a small number of cattle that you can manage from your pocket.
Saisai noted that the high demand for Namibian beef from foreign clients is causing local meat prices to rise, which creates a tough competition for local producers and consumers. He explained that the rise in meat prices will not only cause farmers to lose out on profits, but also affects the overall food prices, putting more pressure on small-scale farmers.
Now, when we have a lot of farmers selling this livestock, it will definitely have an effect on the pricing of livestock. When there's oversupply and then few buyers on the market, prices tend to go down, and then most farmers will be selling their livestock at giveaway prices. You will start realizing that by the time then when we start getting good rainfall from October, November, December, January, Feb next year, when you are now trying to buy back the same livestock you are selling for way too cheap, it becomes too expensive for you as a farmer now to afford the same productive animals that you are selling at giveaway prices. Therefore, it's going to be a long year, but farmers are encouraged not to give up. There are other things that we can still do. You can still harvest the bushes that are in the vicinity. You process them in a hammer mill. You mix them with feed concentrates such as bush improver, coarse salt, enamel, NF-feed, just to have your own formulated feed from the bushes that are abundant in certain areas where livestock production is being carried on.
Saisai said that uneven distribution and intensity of rainfall creates a risk of insufficient food at household level. He encouraged farmers to approach Agribank for financial assistance because the bank understands that keeping the animals alive during drought is a hefty task.
Is that a phone? That thing's a gaming machine. Is that Faker? Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. And here we go!
This Easter at your local OK store, there are eggs and bunnies and savings galore. But what's more, at your OK store, there hangs a golden ticket with your share of $1 million in vouchers, if you can get it. All you need to do to stand a chance to win is buy any participating product and start to imagine. You also save on assorted Clover snack pack, a low $11.99. Lay's plus Doritos, both for $35 Namibian. And Fanta assorted PET 2 litre, only $16.99 each. Okay, owners you can count on.
Well,
welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. The Institute for Public Policy Research, IPPR Executive Director Graham Hopwood has commended the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprises for the level of transparency in tabling the national budget. However, Hopwood stated that despite the progress made in reaching out to the various sectors of society for input on the budget, he advised that there is a need to establish a formal structure of consultation that is inclusive.
Hopwood made these remarks during a presentation on budget transparency on Thursday in the capital. Hopwood said that the proposed structure of consultation is aimed to get opinions from various sectors of the society that can subsequently contribute to the budget and not only civil society's inputs.
So on to public participation. So what's happened since the last survey? In fact, it was already happening that we were starting to have more consultations with the Ministry of Finance. Initially, they were kind of ad hoc, and during the sort of COVID period of 2020 and 2021, they were mostly online. But last year there was a significant progress from our point of view, and we've been talking to the Ministry and the Minister for a while about trying to establish a more formal structure for consultations, possibly a calendar of consultations with various sectors of society and in the regions. Hopefully this year we will move forward to a more structured calendar, as I mentioned, and it shouldn't just be civil society that's involved, but there are other sectors of society that need to be consulted as well as people in the regions. Maybe we need to follow certain themes or topics. Maybe we need to brief people in advance and ask for submissions in advance so that you have something in writing, or submissions that could be given in a short time after the meeting, so that it's not just a tick box exercise. That's what we want to avoid. We want something that can actually substantively contribute to the budget. And of course the government is entitled to do its own budget. It's the elected government and they have the mandate. But I think the minister certainly acknowledges that they can get useful ideas and good contributions from civil society and other sectors. And
Minister of Finance and Public Enterprises Economic Advisor Helvi Philippus said that they face difficulties when consulting Namibians due to the lack of sector formations. Philippus added that they strongly welcome the idea as the ministry needs meaningful engagement on the budget.
The budget really starts, I would say, July, August, September. That's when we do budget consultation, and the current minister we make it standard between July and August. We do the general consultations with the rest of the economy. So for the first time last year, like Graham has said, we have gone out in the regions. We tried to set up, but it's very difficult to consult Namibians. I think that's what we have learned, because we don't really have I don't know how you call it, like sector formations. So you don't really know if I want to speak. I think the regional councils, we sort of know, regional government, local government, we sort of know who to speak to. But even if you go for a region like Kunene and you say, I want to speak to the business sector, it's really difficult for us to find the right people for us to engage so that we can get meaningful input. So
Philippus concluded that they have consultation mechanism in place and they plan to start with consultation earlier this year.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
We look at comments following the first appearance of members of parliament Ina Hingari and two activists, Michael Mushilelo and Ndimbulukeni Nauyoma, who made their first appearance in the Katutura Magistrates Court this afternoon. They face 4 charges of malicious damage to property, contravening the Public Gatherings Act, inciting public violence, and the violation of a court order. Angel said Mushilelo should be left alone. Katazo said fabricating cases has become a trend by the law enforcement. Kamwia asked where the properties are that were damaged. Valencia recommends that the provision of jobs will solve this problem. Legend said the trio should be granted bail immediately. And that's it from Comments Corner. Please continue engaging with us on our stories for broadcast on News on One.
Lontavera, disongo giraverera.
In sports news, the United States of America's national cricket team landed in Windhoek yesterday ahead of the 2023 International Cricket Council World Cup qualifiers games starting this Sunday. The U.S. cricket team will play their opening game on Sunday at 9 a.m. against Namibian Richelieu Eagles at the Wanderers Cricket Ground in Windhoek.
Spot on One caught up with the interim head coach of the United States of America's national cricket team, Kevin Darlington, and Captain Monang Patel at the Wanderers Cricket Club grounds prior to their match against the host, the Richelieu Eagles. Darlington said that his team had a 10-day training camp in India before traveling to Namibia.
We've got good history here in Namibia, where we gained our ODI status. So we've got fond memories of being here in Namibia, and we look forward to playing some good cricket here whilst we're here. In terms of preparation, we went to India for a 10 days camp, playing against the Karnataka County State Cricket Club. Where we got some good practice. The boys really enjoyed the facilities there. Their skills were tested, and they got some time to be outside, especially since most of them are coming off the winter season there in the USA. It was good to get some well-deserved practice and exposure in very good and outdoor facilities there in Karnataka and Bangalore. We now arrive in Namibia, where our quest is to finish within the top 2, thus enabling us to be in the Cricket World Cup in 2023.
Furthermore, the captain of the United States of America's national cricket team, Monang Patel, told Spot on One that the U.S. has a good reputation against Namibia.
Yeah, as I said, it's been always a good game when we play against Namibia. They have a pretty decent side, and they've been doing really well in the ODI league, so we expect a good cricket game.
Out of the 3 previous games against the U.S. national cricket team, the Namibian Richelieu Eagles only won 1 match.
Meanwhile, Wanderers Netball Club captain Bernie Nell said the team, which is made up of young and upcoming stars, is prepared for the MTC Netball Namibia Premier League, which is set to take place tomorrow and Sunday at the Precise Stadium in Chirango.
As a captain, I would say my expectation is obviously to lead the team, to be part of the top 3 at least, and then to play finals. Like I said, that we are here to win. I think coming in as the underdogs, it's always an advantage because no one knows what to expect. But I'm also a firm believer of someone that what you put in is what you get out, and I know how hard we work as a team, and if it's God's will, then